I have to tell you, I'm really nervous about this video because I'm so excited. You know, I am a really huge fan. Hope that mic is running this time. I'm such a huge fan of Kurt Rosenwinkel's playing like forever, and I really... This solo on How Deep Is the Ocean, it's very, very nice, and it's not so hard to play, so it's doable and it's not so hard to understand still. I can't understand everything, I can explain something, and those things I really want to talk about, and one of those things is actually triad pairs. I think it's really, the first chorus is a great place to start talking about triad pairs. So let's really simplify the changes of the first 8 bars of How Deep Is the Ocean. I'm really going to think C minor, G7, C minor, D7, G minor, D7. So let's have a look at the intro, because the intro has some triad pairs as well, and that helps to understand what's going on later in the song. So the intro is really like the bass player playing a D, and those two triads. So this is an A flat and a B flat over the D, and a D flat and E flat over the G. And you can find those two major triads, which are a whole tone apart, in the major scale, but you can also find two major triads a whole tone apart in the melodic minor scale. And if you think about it, A flat and B flat are on the 4th and 5th degree in E flat melodic minor, and with a D in the root, it's really an altered sound. Cool. That reminded me of a book that I wanted to buy like 1 century ago, and now I finally have it. And I think it was all the hype around the time that this record appeared, so it's probably a good source. And Walt Weiskopf, I'm going to link to all the stuff in the description box below. There's also a free download of the first chorus of this solo with tabs included. And he also talks about those triads here in another key, right? So, you know, because I'm always so unsure with some things, I need to have my books and yeah, need to know that's true what I'm talking about. Let's get to the first phrase. So the first chord is a C minor. But this time we have the C in the bass, and this gives us another color. I'd like to think about it as C Aeolian, those two triads stemming from E flat major. And if you put the C in the bass and play those two triads, you'll hear that it sounds Aeolian. I'm going to record a C pedal for a second and play those two triads. So this sounds really cool, and you already can learn thinking about the C minor chord, right? You could think about it as a tonic minor chord, Aeolian, melodic minor, a lot of things work. So this is the same thing as in the intro, D flat, E flat, major triad over the G, giving you an altered sound. So the next chord, the next line, D7 going to G minor. We could be thinking that he's playing a Phrygian sound there. So if you think about it, Phrygian and the altered sound are not very far apart. There's a lot of notes in common, and you could be thinking that he's playing like D Phrygian and then just approaching the D chromatically, so it would more be like a Phrygian sound. And then just playing a plain G minor triad. I really love this phrase. And again, we have the A flat and the B flat. Right, like in the beginning on the song, in the intro, D in the bass. You can think it's the same thing. We are on the D7, right? And resolving it very clearly to the G minor. And then sort of playing 3 major triads, whole steps, going whole steps below. And the last 2 major triads again is the same thing but over the B flat, right? The same altered sound from the melodic minor scale, right? Resolving it to the E flat. So this next phrase starts with the A flat arpeggio on the A flat dominant 7th chord and moves on to the B7 dominant arpeggio, or at least parts of a B7 dominant arpeggio. So I like to think about these notes as a very early B7. The next chord, the B7, finally, I really see the shape of this B7 here. He's playing a 9, approaching the 5, but then really playing the shape. Then here again, right, very famous shape, A flat major 7 arpeggio over what normally would be a B7. So I guess he's transforming it into a B flat 7 sus4 and a flat 9. So this is so cool with the false fingering. I try to play it very clearly. And then he ends with this G major triad on the C minor, right? So this is more or less a classical bebop line, and you could think about it as a D7 arpeggio with a flat 9 in between. So starting on the root, flat 9, flat 9. That also serves as an enclosure for the D, resolving the line to the G minor. And the next phrase is so beautiful. That's an embellishment for the E flat of the A half diminished, right? Again. Very early, 1 bar earlier, right? And then jumping to the flat 7 of the A half diminished, sharp 11 of the D7, and the 9 of the G minor. That's such a beautiful voice leading, and you of course could also experiment using that in your chords, you know, like G in the A half diminished, sharp 11 in the D7, and G minor. coming from the second A part, going to the tonic could be also major tonic, I guess. E flat major, E flat 6, dominant. Playing this E flat major pentatonic sound, right? And then this is like a Phrygian sound on the C7, skipping the G half diminished altogether, C Phrygian. And then just another very clear F minor sound. E flat triad, right? Over the A flat minor. So it's a 4 minor chord here, right? So if you're thinking D flat 7 maybe doesn't make so much sense, but if you're thinking E flat triad over the A flat minor chord, let's play it somewhere else. E flat triad. And then the A flat in the bass. We have the major 7 on a 4 minor chord, a very nice color, the 5 and a 9. Another E flat triad, but this time on the C minor. And then on again the same thing, but now over the E flat tonic, leading to the G triad, back to the A, right? So it's like he's playing an E flat triad here over the 4 minor chord, E flat triad here over this C minor, and then E flat triad finally over the tonic, raising the B flat to the B natural for that it's the third of the G7 that leads back to the A part. So that's it for today. Going to come back to you next week with the next chorus. There's going to be a lot of chords and very nice stuff as well. Let me know if you liked this video. If you have any questions, just write it down in the comments below. And if you want to follow along and make it a little bit more easy for you, don't forget to go to my website and download the free transcription of the first chorus. I know there's another transcription from Matthew Melvin, I think, and it's also very good transcription, but there are lots of like enharmonic, how do you call it? You know, the notes have the wrong names and it's hard to understand what's going on there. So maybe my transcription is just so much better. See you around, bye.